And we're back to the Opening Contest Podcast, episode 4. Reed, my friend, how's it going? How you been?
Another great week. Life is doing wonderful. Got this new hat, repping repping some love or something. So if you know, you know.
If you know,
Um,
you know.
you know, you know. So let's just get right into it. We've already spoken before the show because that's we can get into we can allow people know that before we start recording these, we always we know what we're gonna get into. Off the cuff conversations, we don't know what we're gonna say like that. We never know. We know our subject matter, but then it's all off the cuff. I don't know if you want to
Right.
explain what we set up today or not.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's why I come in. So pretty much we're doing a top 10 list. All right. You have your top 10 list, which has not been, told to me, and your reason behind it, and same thing. This is just our opinions. Please nobody get offended. So
And
just
so
our
also,
opinions and minds.
so this is me a top 10 list of talent, artists in
One,
1DP. Uh,
yeah.
Not necessarily artists currently working there, and no one who has not debuted is part of this. Uh, there could have been some alumni on here. I don't know who you've chosen. Some people may be alumni, or they may still be with the company. Um, and tomorrow, I don't do top 10 lists. Traditionally, I do not do top 10 lists. So where you fall on this list could be different tomorrow. Who's on this list could be done if I did it again tomorrow, could be totally a different mindset. So if you're
Could be a
listening to
different
this
mindset
and
at the end of the show.
if you were with 1DP and you're expecting to hear your name on this list and you're expecting to hear your name at a certain number, don't have any expectations, don't be upset, don't be excited. Well, you can be excited if your name is on here because if your name made it to the list, then it meant at the
Just don't
time
be
I was
upset.
thinking about it, I remembered you and you made an impression. But don't be upset if I didn't because it's only 10. It's only 10. And like I said, and if you haven't debuted officially with the company or I'm not familiar enough with your work with 1DP, even if I'm familiar with your work outside of 1DP,
Yep.
we are not
It's
putting
all
you
opinionated. It's all opinionated.
on this particular list. There are some people currently working at 1DP that I have a personal history with that we may talk about one day, but we'll see if we ever get to those. But let's start with the list. I thought we're gonna go back and forth, 10, 9, 10, 8,
Well,
back and forth.
yes. Well, since I'm hosting, you're my guest.
You
You
would
have the
like to,
honors to go
all
first.
right, I will go first. So at my number 10 right now on this date is Anastasia Morningstar. Now, the only reason she's all the way at 10 for me mentally is she has not worked with or she has not competed in 1DP for a while. She may be she's also been on the shelf recovering from injuries. And so therefore she hasn't had a chance to show or prove herself at when she was in 1DP. Yes, she was definitely a force to be reckoned with. Uh
Most definitely.
Super fan favorite, loved by all the fans, defended the title a couple of times successfully, and represented the company when she was champion. But she is not. She lost that title while I was still working there, and hasn't really made an appearance in 1DP for quite a while since then. And so, you know, when she comes back, when the demon comes back, however, if when she comes back, she'll be still a force, but she's got to rebuild herself. Who you got at number
Right.
10?
I got Vince Steele. I
Okay.
got Vince Steele. And the reason behind that is because first time I saw Vince Steele, I was in the audience, but it's something about him that just, his charisma, you know, the kids loved him in the crowd. And that it was just something about him, like somebody like at that size that can move the way he moves as well. You know, smooth on the mic, and the reason why, he's at number 10 only because like I have not seen him, mix it up with the top tier people of the list that pretty much I have.
Okay.
However, every time that he has been in that ring, it has been nothing but flawless. He gives it all, gives it 100%, no questions asked. You give him a job to do, he does it, and it goes over your head. You'd be amazed to actually take a watch. Who you got for number 9, my friend?
Want me to go first on number 9? All right. Well, number 9, I got beautiful Buddy Thomas. Now I'm not fully I have not gotten to fully watch his major return at a recent show before they went to Puerto Rico. But I know he was brought back into the company. One as a thorn in the side to someone else who was on this list later and has been a thorn in the side of CO Ivory since he started. But also there's something about Beautiful Buddy. He's got a charisma, he's really good in the ring. He win or lose, it doesn't matter. He has a presence, great on the mic, great in the ring, great just to an addition to the show, a great addition to 1DP, especially what 1DB is trying to build. So just someone that is making his mark and now is set for something bigger as things go forward. It looks like.
And he's actually, he's up. Don't to mention too, like from his debut match, he's actually been able to be a stable on the roster as well as an artist for 1DP as well.
So who you
It does take some work to be part of the roster too. It's not just, hey, I want to be part of this. No, he earned this keep.
so who you got at number 9?
All right, so don't kill me. I
Oh,
got actually Anastasia Morningstar.
okay.
So to piggyback off of just a little bit of what you said, my only thing is that with Anastasia Morningstar is understand you got hurt. However, I do feel like your fans do deserve to see your journey on your comeback. They 100% need to see that. So that way, you could remind them who you are and what you do. Because prior to the injury, nothing was stopping her. Nothing was stopping her, to be honest with you. But I would have liked just a little bit more like, hey, like this is the journey during the recovery process, because she's very, very, very charismatic.
All right,
Very charismatic.
who you got at 8?
All right, so I got BD Cruz at number 8. I got BD Cruz number 8 when he comes out dancing, and not to mention too, he did beat Anastasia Morningstar for the title.
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah. He actually beat Hex for the no, he beat Theo Ivory, I believe. I believe he beat Theo Ivory for the Imperial title.
My mistake, y'all. Please edit this out.
Don't
It's
edit.
been a minute.
There's a lot to remember, a lot of history to remember. It's very hard to remember, but do you have anything else? Anything else to say about BD Cruz before I move on to my number 8?
Yeah, easy guy to actually work with. One of the most safest people I've actually been in the ring with. As a matter of fact, I was in the ring with BD Cruz for my debut at the
Okay.
Rumble.
At number 8, I've got Drew Marston. And what I love about Drew Marston mostly is 1DP created a character for him, something totally different than from what he's doing anywhere else. But he took that character, what we built for him here, and ran with it. And this was one of the rare times where my skills, my talent, my creativity actually were truly used at 1DP. Yes, it did happen once in a while. I wasn't totally big on this. I didn't come up with I didn't come up with the concept or the idea of having him be a prisoner. That wasn't my idea. But the first time you ever hear Drew Marston talk, there were scheduling conflicts, and I wish there weren't because the way Drew Marston talks, the actual Drew Marston, amazing. Absolutely. I love his little lisp. I love his accent. I love his vernacular and his speech patterns.
Right.
And what I love is that he, as a talent, took what I so the first time you ever hear him talk, by the way, it was me. And it was just a phone call, but he heard that phone call. And when he finally started cutting a promo as this character, you can tell that he let that influence him, which is awesome because I love the continuity. Like, yeah, and I wish I had known a better idea of how he talked. And I wish the scheduling conflicts didn't. We needed to get this promo out in advance of his debut. So Drew ran with it, and he's done an amazing job with the character and making it something totally different than what he does. Being Drew Marston for 1DP, and I
Right.
love him for it. We are actually really we got 10 minutes. Okay, that makes sense because we only
Okay.
well no we only want 8 more minutes anyway, so that's good. Um, yeah, I'm just kidding. That's your heads up.
Oh yeah.
Heads up, Sean. Edit that. We're running out of time, please, if you can.
Yes,
If not,
please. Oh, okay. Yes, please edit that out. Um, for number 7, I got Turner. Even though he's not on a current roster, however, he has performed in a couple, 1DP shows.
okay.
1DP shows, especially the shows that involve
I believe Turner is
title matches.
alumni, though. Just we'll make a note that he is alumni. Uh,
Okay.
he is an alumni. He is. I don't believe. I'm not. I do not believe he is currently listed on the current roster.
No, he's not listed on the current roster.
So he was alumni. He was a great performer, though. Great kid.
Right.
Great. Did a great job while he was with us. I
No
know.
issues in the back at
No.
all. Just smiles,
Treated,
laughs.
treated my mother fabulously. So
Yes, he did.
I got BD Cruz at number 7. I'll just throw in me and BD have always had a great rapport, amazing talent in the ring, great part of 1DP. Has been a champion. I feel like maybe one day he can be back in that position. He is a great person to have, and the kind of matches that you can have with him with the roster they got now, the future is wide open. Who you got at 6?
I got Kevin Cash at 6.
All right.
I got Kevin Cash at 6 because, and it might be far up, but the reason I feel like he had to make this list, was because he's been at, for my understanding, to my knowledge, actually some of the most important shows. And some of the most important shows, like even down to like with the most recent show. He has no problem, you know, hey, we have an idea for you. Like, okay, let me do that. And then he puts his own twist to it. I've never seen somebody with that work ethic, long as I've been in this business, and as far as like, the office actually take and say, you know what, let's go with that,
All right. Well, I got Ivory at number 6, Theo Ivory. Very interesting talent. Always brings something very, his flair, his style. Uh, Always willing to go with what the company is going for. Some controversy with him, but right now also injured on the injured list. So what his future with 1DP is and how it's going to be when he comes back is going to be interesting to watch. But what he had done with 1DP while he was there, you know, his run with Hex was amazing. His title win,
definitely.
was amazing. Everything. So Theo Ivory has been an amazing part of 1DP. So I had to have him on this list. And like I said, any day of the week, like I said, anyone on this list could have been at another number, higher, lower, and he's definitely one of those.
All right, so I got for number 5. Again, don't shoot me in the foot,
it,
but I got Theo Ivory as far as number 5.
why am I shooting you in the foot? Like that's
Like I have Theo Ivory, as far as like, my number 5, and the reason why he made my top 5 is because of what he has actually contributed to 1DP and actually opening the doors and bringing eyes to different cultures, himself, not being afraid to put his personal life on the line, like let it be known, like, hey, like, and for be honest with you, I can't find that one negative thing about him at all. Like, and I know that pretty much Theo Ivy is one of the guys who reminds me of, if you go on a war, you need somebody to have your back. He's no hesitation.
Uh, I don't want this list to get too fat. I don't want it to go overrun. So we're gonna hit those last four. We're gonna hit those last five. We're gonna hit them hard and fast. I say.
Yep.
Hit them, because,
Number four.
because there are no because they're if they're in the top five, you already know they're in the top five. We don't have to say much about them. They're in the top five. I got number
We're gonna
five.
give a little.
We're gonna give a little, but I'm saying, but you already know they in the top five for us today. So there's a reason for them. That's mentally where they are right now. So at number five, I got Batsu Katsunagi. The only reason he got him as low as number five even today is he's refining himself.
Okay.
He's got an attitude problem going on right now. He looks like he feels like he's being overlooked, and maybe he is, because he's still winning matches and making them and sending messages. But he did lose the title, and he's trying to rebuild himself and get himself back into the, there's all these new people that we're not talking about, but the whole company's changing. But when he was at the top, and he was a king. He was an amazing champion. The way he lost that title, the way he even lost the title is controversial and could be considered, So Batsu is my number five. My number four, just so.
All right, you go ahead.
I got my number four. I got Alec Hammer at number four, because yes, he just lost his title shot, but that kid, I've seen that kid go from training, from learning, from being taught under my tutelage, under school tutelage, under Mr. Mr. Label's tutelage, Mr. Vinny's tutelage, everyone's tutelage. That is a boy that is grown into a man, and he was a man already, because he's a man. But in terms of wrestling, that's a boy that became a man, and I'm really impressed by what he has done with himself. So you got it.
My number four is Batsu. My
Okay.
number four is Batsu, from the time being of, with the Rumble to become a champion.
Okay.
Being the last three and then earn his way to champion. My number three is CMC.
Okay.
Reason behind, because as a character, I personally was behind the scenes to be created from the minds of the office, yourself, and he's been a phenomenal champion. The way he carries himself, and the way he speaks to others, the way he treats others is always fair, and I love it.
And well, I have Kevin Cash at number three because of what he has done and building himself, and he created his character. His character is him. We didn't have to do anything. That boy has done everything himself. We just put him in the place. We put him in the storylines, and then he took the ball and ran with it. And then equally, then I've got CMC at number two, which I'm guessing that means we both have the same number one, and there's a reason for it. But I put CMC because we did create something for him. We created something brand new for him, but he took the ball and he ran with it, and he's still running, and he's doing great things, and he's a big force at that company, and he is a champion right now. And so, am I correct in that we both have Hyena Hex as number one?
No.
Who is your number one?
I have Hyena X at number two.
Okay.
Right? And the reason
why is because also, number one?
I have Alec Hammer as number one.
Okay.
And the reason why, just a quick mention of Hyena X is our first ever Grand Slam champion of 1DP. I got Alec Hammer as far as number one because of the development of his character and himself as a person to push himself every single day, every single night. And I just love the way how he has just evolved in front of our eyes. He actually grew in front of our eyes. So who you have as number one?
I have Hex as number one because he is our first Grand Slam champion, winning both titles, being both the Imperial champ and the World champion. And the way he got those titles, the way he won both of them, the way he won that first title, the way he won this world title. And now he's like the top, and I've seen him grow and build and develop and become, he is 1DP. And that is, for me right now, he is 1DP. He will be 1DP. The future is where I don't know what's next, but Hex is my guy. And that's all I got to say with that. That's my top 10. That's your top 10.
Top 10.